What up? What up? How y'all doing? CB, what's up? How you doing, brother? Glad to see you here. Yeah, we're just gonna have a little two-way talk. Kathy Miller, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, we're just gonna talk a little bit about 2A. First and foremost, I do want to I have some special thanks to a couple, or actually 5 people, that donated to my campaign. I've got a Mark Franz. I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will put a link to my campaign page so that you can donate if you'd like to. I've also got an Andrew Fredley. He donated, I believe he donated $20 as well. Or no, I believe he donated $50. I've got Liz and Melvin Johnson. This is my aunt and my uncle. And I thank you. They donated $20, and I appreciate it. All this money is going straight to fight and keep up the good fight for our Second Amendment rights. I also have a Chad Summerlin, and I want to say super special thanks to him. He donated $100. Like I said, I don't expect everybody to donate, but if you can, $5, $2, anything is appreciated. So all that money, like I said, goes to promoting gun rights and helping my campaign, so that if and when I do get elected, that I will maintain and keep our Second Amendment rights. And then our last person is going to be a Pete Butcher, and I wanted to thank him as well. He donated $20, so right now I'm sitting at about $110. I've got some great plans that I'm going to do with that. I'm hoping by July I'm going to have a barbecue / open carry / friends and family kind of gathering. We're going to do it at some kind of park, and we're going to definitely try to get the whole community. Even if you don't live in the town and you want to come and just enjoy the little party that we're going to have, you're more than welcome. But like I said, that's going to be in July, so I'll keep you all updated on that. Other than that, we've got a lot of great things coming. We've got a lot of great open carry gatherings happening. We've got one here on June 8th. That's in Port Orange. So that one is very imminent, a couple of weeks away. But we're going to look at some of these comments. CNN Nash says, what's up? What's up? How you doing, brother? Glad you joined in. Rambo Rob's here. What's up, Rambo? How you doing, brother? Angel, my favorite. Oh, man, CV, you don't. Oh, bro, you don't have to do that, man. I appreciate that. It's huge, man. Huge. Let's see. Yeah, CV says it's all good here, brother. Awesome. That's what we like to hear. CNN Ash says, keep up the good work, bro. I'm trying. Even if I don't get elected, I'm going to keep up the good fight. It doesn't stop just because one doesn't work. I'll keep fighting. I'm fighting for all of us. Sword and Spirit KJV says, yo, what up? How you doing? Been there, done that says, how's the baby? She's amazing. She just got done getting fed. She's hopefully going to go to bed, and that's the next goal, is hope she goes to bed. And then I'll get a little bit of downtime. I'll do a little Uber running, and from there I'll try to get some sleep. But yeah, if you have questions, I know that we do have a open carry gathering on June 8th. We have another one in July 6th. That's going to be in Riviera Beach. We're going to have a July 21st birthday bash. That's my birthday on July 21st. So look forward to that. That may be the day that I do the whole barbecue and the whole family outing. So we've got at least 3 coming up in the next month and a half. So it's if you're willing and ready to go out and open carry, or just come out and express your Second Amendment rights, come out and stay tuned and look for the links and all the links that I've put out there. So, all right. Darian Ballard says, smiley face. Yeah, trying to keep up the good fight. Let's see. But the open carry stuff, we've got that pretty much covered. The thank yous to Mark Franz, Andrew Fredley, Liz and Melvin Johnson, Trad Summerlin, and Pete Butcher. I thank those. CB, I thank CB as well. He just gave me a super chat of $10, and I appreciate that. And it, like, all this money, whether I can use it or I can use it for my campaign, it all goes to a lot of it goes to like Second Amendment. So I mean, anything that I can. I have there's a couple Moms Demand Action things that are happening, that they're out in the public. So I'll let you know about some of those. Those are coming. I want to, once again, if you to try to educate or just talk to the anti-gun people is like the next step, is trying to come together as an understanding, because they keep talking to politicians to try to strip our rights. So it's to the point where I'm either becoming a politician or I'm going directly to those people and trying to talk to them and see if we can't come to some agreement to where they will just stop and leave our rights alone. But let's talk about what is your everyday carry. My everyday carry is my Glock 23. I carry just a simple, plain little pocket knife. I don't even carry a wallet. I carry my cell phone, which is kind of like a wallet. But other than that, Glock 23, I carry critical defense, Hornady critical defense, 40 caliber ammunition. Everything about my Glock is stock. I just haven't had the money to even put anything else on there. Let's hear what is your everyday carry? What are you guys carrying? Or what's your favorite firearm? Yeah, Darian Ballard says, I'm guessing that's the MP9. Oh yeah, we're giving away that too. We're giving away 6.5 Creedmoor is your favorite. Yeah, it'd be my favorite if I had one of those too. A little expensive to shoot, but yeah, it's still my favorite. Yeah, Angel Figueroa, he likes his Taurus 709 Slim. Once again, that's a nice single stack. Another great, concealed kind of carry kind of firearm. So yeah, that's another good one. Yeah. CB, when he donated, he says, hope this helps. Gearing up to file June 3rd with the county here. Yeah, he's got a little lawsuit going on where he's from, and his is coming up here real soon. So I'm saying definitely good luck to you, man. I hope that all works out, because accountability. All right. Yeah, a lot of the anti-guns, they just keep. It's so weird how the anti-gunners, they'll only talk about shootings or when there's a negligible discharge or whatever. Nobody ever really wants to talk about the good guy with the gun that saved lives. You hear about it. You might hear about it for a quick 2 minutes on TV, and then they go right into more negative. They want that anti-gun agenda on their platforms instead of the pro-gun. And maybe that's another thing, is hopefully one day that the news media comes around and starts saying, hey, this is what we want. We want positives, the good guys instead of the bad guys. Instead of giving the bad guys attention, let's start giving the good guys the attention. 9mm through away gun. Throwaway gun. Yeah, I like the 9mm too, but CB says 9mm throwaway gun. Yeah, I mean, for capacity, you just can't get around it, man. It's just hard to find something that has 17, 18 rounds, and they're finding ways to get 17, 18 rounds into some of these 9mm firearms. So it's pretty impressive. Yeah, I did hear about Charlotte County having something, and I think there's a lawsuit about to happen, or there's somebody filing a lawsuit because I think it was somebody left out something. Somebody got. I'm gonna have to look up that. I'm gonna have to pull that one up. There was it wasn't supposed to happen, but somehow, some way, it got out, and I'm sure that happens more than we all think it really happens. It probably happens a lot more than we know. But Rambo Rob, seeing Nash, I'm going to get back to the Charlotte County. I'm going to look that up here in a minute. Rambo Rob says Glock 23 Gen 4 with Trijicon night sights. I got the Glock 23 Gen 4, just no Trijicon. Those are the ones I want. Just don't have the money for it. So yeah, been there, done that. Says Glock 21 or the Glock 19X. Both of them are really. I actually like the Glock 19X. Me personally, I think I'm going to stick mostly to the 19, but the 19X just adds, I think, another round, and it's just put together. James Madison's Gear It Up Boy, and he says, "Hey everyone, oppression is control. Yes, it is. Anytime they want to control what you want to say or how you want to carry or anything where they think they can control you, that is oppression, and that is not what our government is here for. They are not here to control what we do." Gunshine State Review says hello from Plantation. What's up? What's up? Oh, your Beretta M9. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's another one. I've never fired the Beretta, but I mean, it's just like the same thing with the Glock. It's just been around for so long, and it's so reliable. And nowadays most firearms are fairly reliable. I mean, I know a lot of people bash on the high point, but that thing can go through a beating and keep on shooting. It's not that if it's what you can afford a firearm. If I can afford something a little better, I always go with a little better. But I've got another buddy that he believes in. He's got a 9, he's got a 40, and he says as long as he puts somewhat decent ammo in it, he's never had an issue with his high point. So I won't completely bash high point, but if you can afford something a little better, go for it. If you can't, stick with a high point, stick with what you can afford. CB says the anti-crowd is rough, bro. Yeah, I've been to a couple of their little rallies, March of Our Lives and Moms Demand Action, and as soon as you start anything that is not part of their platform, they get angry. They get angry really quick. I've got a video where I went to a Moms Demand Action. I was telling them, and this is at the time I was about to buy the M&P 1522 for my son, and he was about to turn 14. And I told him that at this meeting, and the entire room was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it!" And yeah, and after that, one of the guys, he kind of freaked out on me. So yeah, but just like they want to be able to spew whatever they want to spew, I want to be able to say what I want to say too, even if we may not agree, but we have to try to find a common ground. If we can't find a common ground, the fight's never going to stop. And I'm looking for a solution, not for continual fighting. Bill B says greetings from Constitutional Carry, Missouri. Well, lucky you. I wish I was there. A little too cold for me in the winter. So when we get Constitutional Carry here in Florida, you can come down and visit us, and we'll go fishing. Yeah. Rambo Rob says, if you got night sights, what color? I would probably go green in the back and red in the front. Just so I have the green is just really it's just for peripheral, and then making sure I can see the red. But I really haven't put too much thought, but I've always wanted to put green and red in the front. So that's where I would go. But I'm not really sure how everybody else would do it. Some people like, just standard green, some like just all red, some like orange. And so it comes down to personal preference. So maybe I should get them in the dark and really look at them in the dark before I make that decision. Yeah, CV says High Point keeps on keeping on and cheap. Yeah, and I've actually heard stories about the FBI and the ATF not really liking like the High Points and the Taurus and the Skies, mainly because they are so cheap that they think they're the throwaway gun. So yeah, it's and like once again, it's not that they're bad guns; they're good guns. They fire. They're for the most part fairly reliable. You know, as long as you have decent ammo. You know, if you're shooting just garbage, you may have some problems. But for the most part, I hear all those firearms are all fairly reliable. I know the Sky is made out of Daytona Beach, and I believe the High Point's out of Miami or something like that. But which other? Maybe it wasn't High Point, was Miami. There's a firearm company out of Miami. I just can't remember which one right now. James Madison's asked, how far are you away from Fort Myers? About 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Why? What's up? What's going on, buddy? Yeah. Yeah. Darian Ballard says, good. Pissed them off. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. They love me. I've even been I even went to one, and I was walking in, and before I could even get in the door, they were like, "No, sorry, Mike, you're not coming in." I was like, "How do you know my name?" It's like, "Oh, we watch your videos." I'm like, "Oh shit, damn it!" Now they know who I am. But yeah, good for them. I'm glad they know who I am. That makes it even better when I show up, and we have discourse, and I want positive discourse. I don't want just fights. I want us to talk and try to figure out what their thought processes are on firearms, and why they think that. They look at the 33,000 or 34,000 deaths, or I think they said it could be upwards of 40,000 for this year or something, but 40,000 deaths. It's a horrible number. Half of those are suicides. Another half is from gang members and things, and it's a very small percentage that are actually mass shootings. But they don't want to look at the fact that 500,000 to 3 million lives are saved because of a firearm every year. So I don't know why. Those are the facts that they just don't want to pay attention to. So, and those are the things that we have to keep pushing and telling them, like, hey, these are real facts. This is why firearms are necessary. The majority of shootings are fake Hollywood productions or false flags. Exposing the truth or fake shootings is critical for the Second Amendment. Absolutely. Anybody that's there was something recently. There was somebody, a teacher or something to that effect. I believe it was a teacher that decided they wanted to hide ammo and got caught on camera stashing the ammo, and then they were going to be calling, or then they did call law enforcement, said, "Oh, we found ammo on school." And then when they reviewed the tapes, they saw it was the teacher, and obviously the teacher, I believe, got fired after that. So we need some blue wrenches in here. Absolutely. James Banner says, you got any blue wrenches in here? Maybe. I might be able to help you out with that. Gunshot State reviews say, I own more than 100 guns. They will have to fight me for them. Yeah. I hope it doesn't ever have to come to that. If it ever, I know they have this red flag law, which is a very scary law. If they start really implementing, or some of these laws start getting passed, the one that I'm really concerned about is the AR platform bill. That one's going to be, if they start coming after the AR-15, AR-10, AR-9, AR-47, whichever one, the AR whatever. If that one actually passes and they start actually going after those people that may or may not have those firearms, that means they're coming to your door, knocking on it, and say, "I'm coming in, whether you want to or not, and I'm searching your house." And that's when I believe, that's when things are going to get really crazy. And Darian Ballard says Maine is CC as well. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. We even here in Florida, we used to have open carry. It was really restrictive still, but we had an open carry law. But then they adopted the CCW, and then next thing you know, we lost all those rights, and now we're trying to fight to get them back. So, been there, done that. Says human eyes pick up green better. Absolutely, especially at night, green looks a lot better. I've just heard as you're looking down in your sight alignment, I just hear the red is better, but the green definitely illuminates a lot, way easier for your eye to pick up in dark lighting conditions. So I definitely agree that. James Madison says smash the like button, please smash that like button, hit it like a dirty little dog it is. And let's see, two-way fishing, all these shootings are fake. It's just to disarm people and take their guns away. And I believe some of them, I believe that some of them may have been maybe a fake story, but we just have to really, we really need to start figuring out why these people, if they're fake, let's expose the fake news for doing it. Let's get on so that we can really, or maybe we put really stricter laws on fake news for creating fake news. Maybe they should start really getting fined, like huge fines, millions of dollars of fines if they put out something that they didn't even do any research on. They just, somebody called, oh yeah, run with the story, go with it. Taurus is out of Miami. That's it. Once again, it's a great firearm. It's not that it's the trigger's a little squishy, but for a self-defense kind of firearm, you kind of want to make sure you have that long trigger pull, because if you have a short trigger pull and you're not 100% and you have that real light trigger, and you didn't mean to pull the trigger, that could be the difference between you being justified and unjustified. Yeah, text me later, brother. I'll be waiting for you. Let's see. CB real shooting. Let's see. Rambo Rob says, what does the new bill say about banning AR-15s? Haven't read it. I will get that for. I know that there's a couple bills. One's related to the AR-15 or the AR platform, and the other one is related to the high capacity magazines. And so, one and the same, you're either going to have to convert all your AR-15s to 10-round magazines or less, or if they take or if the AR-15 is what they're going after, then hopefully that will not happen. Yeah. Ken Soria. I'm probably gonna butcher this. Ken Soria says teachers should be armed. Absolutely. Sorry guys, I'm reading up on a couple of these comments, but the teachers definitely should be armed. I was at a Young Republicans meeting this past Tuesday, and I was talking to Toby Oberdorf and Gail Harrell, I believe her name is, and I asked them. I was like, they passed that's a new law, and I was like, under Florida law, if cities, counties, and towns try to create their own fire laws or change fire law, under 790.33, our preemption, is that against the law? And they were like, no, it's not. Part of what they were saying about that bill or that law being passed is that they want the teachers to go through like something like 150 hours of police training. And they're and hey, James Madison, how much firearm safety did you take when you became a law enforcement or a police officer? Because they were telling me that they needed to take 150 hours because that's what law enforcement does. And I couldn't say yes or no to that because I don't know. So, but they were that law, even though it's a law, it was kind of a bull stuff law, if you will. Sword of the Spirit KJV says the bump stock ban will be used to go after semi-automatics in the future. Yeah, that bump stock was really like, I really hated to see that happen because it was just an accessory. What really scares me is that they included binary triggers. They included, I think it was just bump stocks, binary triggers, and if they go after one accessory, what's the next one? Your red dot sight, your stock, your muzzle device, or I mean, what's the next accessory that they're going to go after? What are they going to do? Put an FFL on a friggin' on a bolt carrier group next? I mean, it's just once they start doing with one, it's going to lead into others. Gunshine State Review says come and take it, and I totally agree. I'd like to. Hopefully, they don't come and take it. I don't want to see them come and take it, but I know that I would definitely, if it was very somewhat imminent that Florida was going to enforce some kind of laws like that, I would move really quick. I would hop in my kayak and paddle all the way across to Texas, very, very quick. And I'd do it all out in federal waters so they couldn't touch me. Rambo Robs, what does? I'll get back to that one. I'll get you those links, Rambo Rob. Yeah, CB says the finger is just as good as a bump stock. I mean, if people are that upset about the bump stock, get a rubber band. I've seen it done with a rubber band. I've seen it done with a stick. It's just about harnessing it as you pull back. You have to almost want to try to keep it pulled forward, and just from that, it'll keep going like a bump stock. So you really don't have to worry too much about. I mean, it does suck that they banned an accessory, but I don't think it was the end of the world. I mean, if you really needed something that was to emulate it, just lower your trigger as low as you can get it, and that should almost do it for you. Many of the shooters have the same doctors. They probably all take the same drugs that come from the same doctors too. That was Darian Ballard. Yeah, I think that a lot of the people that have been that they say they have mental illnesses or some kind of mental stuff, they're all on the same drugs and they're all taking it from either the same doctors. So that I do believe is not a conspiracy. I think that's just something that the government could actually foresee and kind of help prevent by controlling who is getting those drugs. If you see those people getting the drugs, stop them from getting a firearm. Yeah, Robbie Parker and Gene Rosen are probably happy that Trump take the guns first, due process second. Yeah, and once again, these are big things. These are huge things that are going to be a big problem for Trump, because if he keeps messing with the Second Amendment like that, he's going to lose a lot of people that are going to vote for him. You know, there are people that are Republicans that are coming up that can and very well possibly could be good candidates, but I do want to see Trump all the way through. I mean, he still is doing good things. He did the bump stock, and then it was the red flag, and like it's not. He's going down a real slippery slope if he keeps doing that. Bill B says is that AR ban a Florida thing? Yeah, it's there's other states that are trying to implement an AR ban, and it's I mean there's just about every state that I know of except for maybe a handful, they all have a some kind of um, AR ban or high capacity magazine ban or some. They all have it, and it's just about which ones are going to get passed, which ones are sitting in more of a liberal democratic kind of city or state. I do want to say, if you haven't been over to James Madison's, check him out. I know that we've got a couple things planned. I know that he should be down in Port Orange with us down for our open carry, and then every now and again when I'm bored out of my mind, I don't feel like going fishing. I sometimes join him on his First Amendment audits, which is always a interesting time. He always finds the good ones. But give me 1 second. I gotta grab a beer. I'm coming. All right. Now we're back. Like I said, I was talking about James Madison, hanging out with him on June 8th down in Port Orange, and then hopefully we'll be hanging out doing a little First Amendment audit here and there. And then I'm looking at I go to floridacarry.org, and let me get into litigation. And if you want to do this on your own time, or not litigation, legislation, but go to floridacarry.org and then go into, there's a part on the left that says legislation. And it's going to be House Bill 455. It says assault weapons and large capacity magazines, and prohibits sale, transfer. This is what the bill says: prohibits sale, transfer, or possession of assault weapons or large capacity ammunition magazines, provides exceptions, requires certificate of possession for assault. So you have to basically buy a firearm, tell them that you're buying the firearm, and you have to basically get you have to be certified to be able to get that firearm or that a so-called assault weapon or large capacity ammunition magazines lawfully possessed before dates specified, blah blah blah. So that's before. That'll be before it. So if you own them before this bill's passed, you got to go get a certificate so that you can still be able to possess them. Then it also goes on to say it requires a certificate to transfer, certificates of transfer for transfer of assault weapons large capacity. So, they're basically saying you're not going to be allowed to transfer any of this. Then there's state bill. This is going to be within the state. House bill was kind of federal. This is the state bill. The state bill is 466, and it's pretty much a carbon copy of House Bill 455. There is, but Florida Carry breaks down some of the good ones, some of the bad ones. There's House Bill 683, which is prohibited places for weapons and firearms, and they want to revise where licensees can openly carry handguns, and that the state bill for that, there's the House bill, and then there's the state bill. The state bill is 364. But that is what I was referring to as the AR-15 ban or whatever, because they're definitely not happy about it. They definitely do not want it. They don't want any more of it. So, and that's why I'm trying to run for office, so I can help try to prevent all that nastiness. So, all right. Yeah, Broward County sucks. That's another place that I really want to get down to. I want to go down there and open carry. Just I will not go down there by myself and open carry. So if anybody knows somebody, or if you want to go down there with me, shoot me an email at, I'm going to put that in right now. Gmail.com. All right, that's where you're gonna soliacker2@gmail.com. If you know somebody, or if you would like to go down to Broward County, shoot me an email and maybe we can set something up. I am a little busy, but I'm always down to go fishing. It was the longest part. James Madison says it was when I was asking him about how many hours he had to train with firearms, and his reply is, it was the longest part of the academy. It's not 150 hours. It was like 1 month at the range during work. You qualify every 3 months. So, yeah, I mean, and it's not like you were sitting at the range for 8 hours a day for a month. I mean, even at that, you're still 40 hours. Yeah, I guess you'd be at 320 hours. But whatever. They made it sound like they had to take 150 hours before they were allowed to carry, which makes no sense. James Max says, good evening. What up? What up? Or is that goodbye? Good evening. Goodbye. Hello? James Max. Just playing, man. Been there, done that. Echo trigger is better than a bump stock. It fires when you pull and release. Yeah. I think that's what the binary trigger was all about too, and that's what I think they went after as well. Yeah, Bill B says Trump lost him with his 2A stance, and when he goes to Texas, I guess he just feeds in Texans and says so much to the Texans that they, I've watched a lot of his rallies, and it seems like he's very pro 2A, but I know he's done some things that definitely warrant pro 2A. So, Trump may try to use weed as his next campaign. I'm sure he will, because once again, that's just federal money that he can get, not his hands on, but it's money that can be used to help build his wall, to build, the things that he's trying to do without having to pull it from other parts from other parts of the government. He can just say, oh, I've got $50 billion or $5 billion or whatever the federal government's going to pull in. He's like, I can build a wall now. So, I mean, it wouldn't put, even for me, I want to legalize marijuana, even in Florida. It would bring so much tax revenue. If we went complete recreational, there'd be jobs. You've got farmers all across the state that, and as long as we're doing it, with the marijuana, you have to have regulations at the beginning, because if you just start throwing any kind of pesticides and all that stuff, you could actually do more harm with the pesticides on the plant than doing good. And that's why I think there's going to be huge regulations. And I think there already is huge regulations in Colorado, California, Oregon, Washington State. All those places pretty much have high regulations on what they can use and how much they can grow. So even if Florida does, we'll have those same regulations. Brian Sauer says, not here in New Hampshire, no license, no permit needed to conceal carry or open. Also, you can get ARs. Yeah, yeah, and there's numerous states that are very pro gun, that probably will never really see too many anti-gun bills brought to their state, but there's Florida, where we've got a lot of them. We get a lot of people that come from the north that they retire, they move here, now they vote here. So we do have a lot of people that do try to bring their anti-gun stuff here to Florida, or at least I see it here. Let's see. Trump. Yeah. Angel Figueroa asks, which one is first, Daytona or Port Orange? Port Orange. Port Orange is happening on June 8th. So be there, be square. If you need a ride, let me know. We will make sure we'll get you to the party. Yeah, Brian Stewart says, I wish people would stop saying assault. Yeah, they're semi-automatic rifles. It's, and that's the media. The media is just spun what they say is a military style weapon, and the military would never be probably caught. I'd probably 100%. They would never be caught dead with in a semi-automatic AR-15. I mean, if it was the only thing they had to choose and use, I guess they would, but they're not picking up that semi-automatic rifle over a fully automatic rifle. Gotta Try State Review says Mike, love your channel. How's the baby? The baby is amazing. She's great. Yeah, it changed. It is so weird how, like, I sat in the hospital for 3 days, and the third day we're leaving, and I swear I've never drove like a grandpa, and I noticeably drove like a grandpa that day. I'm like, wait, don't you pull over on me? Like, it was just so weird. And even now, it's like I wake up thinking about her. I go to work, I'm thinking about her. Like everything is about her, and that's all I want to do. Oh, by the way, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for. Let me see here. I'm gonna go ahead and go over to your channel here in a minute. Yeah, I'll go over to your channel here in a minute. Subscribe to you too, brother. All right. Brian Sauer says, just come to New Hampshire. If things keep going sideways, I'll definitely. I've got a few friends over in Texas that they said they would love to have me over there, and I do like my coastline, so it's not that I wouldn't come to New Hampshire, but I like a little bit warmer weather than I like the colder weather. But it's not to say I wouldn't go there. I mean, just to come up there and open carry for a day or two or three or whatever, yeah, it'd be awesome to have that freedom to actually feel what it's like to not have to worry about, am I breaking this law? Is my fishing line wet, or am I, those are the things that you have to worry about. Darian Ballard says you can still buy. Yeah, I know you can still buy them, but I heard they were trying to wrap the binary triggers in with I think the bump stock ban. So, but I guess it was just strictly the bump stock. Binary triggers got left alone. Yeah, Brian Sauer says, good thing Clinton didn't get in, or we would have had, we would have lost in the first 6 months she was in, and then we'd already be halfway to we'd already be eating dogs and stuff by now. 2-3 years later, yeah, we'd be living the Venezuela nightmare. Andy, Brian Suter also used to live in Texas. Sick. Yeah. I visited there. I had a grandmother that lived there. She made the most amazing tamales. They were, we would get like these, like, I guess 40 packs of them, and my dad would just take them home, and yeah, they were so delicious. Who knew you could do such great things with corn? Fresh and AZ's 2A advocate. AZ needs good patriots like you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, I was just one guy just trying to get out a little knowledge, and it just transformed into somebody that I can't let people do what they're doing, and sit back and smile about it. Some people, I believe everybody here is pretty frustrated with what they're seeing, and it takes a lot to try to take that next leap and get into politics, because I have no clue what I'm doing, and I think that's half the reason why a lot of us probably don't, is that we think that there's some, like, you have to know everything about politics, and obviously if you watch in the news, they don't know what they're talking about either. So yeah, if they don't know what they're talking about, I can't be that worse. It couldn't be that bad. And I actually have some decent points. It's not that I'm not completely stupid to it, but I don't know everything. I have a little bit of business sense, which I'm probably going to need to make sure that I can follow budgets and and things of that nature. I know I've got my heart in the right place, where I'm trying to protect, not only our Second Amendment, but our water, our education, trying to bring tourism to a county that has almost slim to none here. I mean, we've got a Club Med in my county. We've got a couple bowling alleys. There's nothing that drives people from West Palm or Miami or Okeechobee, or there's nothing that draws them here. Orlando, Daytona, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, they all have something that draws the people to those towns. Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, in those surrounding areas, it's just we don't have much. And if we were to bring anything's better than nothing. So if we can bring something here, I think our town would just blow up and blossom even more. Oh yeah. Brian Suri says that he loves the tamales, and he was married to a Mexican girl. So good, so hot, good tamales, or so the girl so good, so got good tamales. Yeah. I'm sure she made the best tamales. I hope you got her recipe, because my grandmother died with her recipe. Nobody knows how to make them. Nobody's been able to replicate her tamales, which is unfortunate. And she may even have that recipe just laying around in a book somewhere. Just nobody knew what to look for. If HRC got in, conservatives would actually care and fight for the Second Amendment. Yeah, if Hillary Rodham Clinton got in, conservatives would actually care and fight for the Second Amendment. Now, because of a cult of personality being worshipped, we have mostly dead silence from the right. Yeah, and in a lot of a lot of the events and things that leading up to before the politics and everything, one of the sayings that Florida Carey was always saying is, we don't need to get complacent. And a lot of us, and even me, there was times I got complacent, but a lot of us got complacent, and we were just like, oh, we don't have to worry. And right now, over the last 2 years, I've become more worried, because at that time I was just like, oh, it's not going to happen. I'll just go out and buy guns and make sure, and if they do try to come get them, I can defend myself and da 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 da. 2 years later, I'm actually watching all these bills starting to get put. They're writing up bills, and they wrote up 50 of them here. And so if they're writing up 50 bills and some of these get through, that's the part that's scary, is that how many of these are actually going to get through. All right. Well, all right. I've almost been on here for an hour. That's usually my time to go to bed, or not to bed, but to do other things. I got to take care of a baby and all that good stuff. Yeah. Free in Arizona 2A Advocate says, brother, be careful. The punks in power don't like outsiders. Ask Trump. Definitely. When I went to the Young Republicans meeting I went to on Tuesday, I told them I was running for a representative in District 84, and I was trying to talk to them, and they kind of just looked at me like, yeah, whoever, whatever. We don't know who you are, and they kind of brushed me off. And even when I did try to talk to them, it's not that it fell on deaf ears. They didn't really want to hear everything I had to say, and unfortunately, I think that's my upward battle, is that I'm going to be going against people that have been in office or have kind of gone down some kind of route that has led them to where they're at. Me, I've been a chef my whole life. I mean, from age 15 till almost 40, I've been a chef. I've tried to do, I'm helpful and I'm a community guy. I like doing things, but it's never been my agenda. I was always just a fisherman, take care of my family, take care of, things that were important to me. And now I've found something that is more important. It's not, this political thing is more important than just me. This is for everybody. This is for all Floridians. I'm trying to do something that's going to be beneficial to everybody, not just me. But yeah, my battery is going dead, Angel. So I'm going to get off. Everybody, y'all have a great night. I promise I will make sure I have a full charge the next time I do this. Yeah, Rambo Rob, I hope I do get elected, because I'm going to definitely try to keep our Constitution alive, not just our second, but all of them. If they want to try to trample on one, they're eventually going to trample on all the rest. So everybody, y'all, don't forget, hit that like, share, and subscribe. I thank every one of you. I want to give another shout out to Mark Franz, Andrew Fredley, Liz and Melvin Johnson, Chad Summerlin, Pete Butcher. I thank you for donating to my campaign fund. I will put that link in the bottom here after I post it. That way, if you want to contribute to my campaign fund, you're more than welcome. Not asking for it, but if you can spare it, you have a couple extra bucks and you can throw it my way, it will be greatly appreciated, because it will all go to ensuring that I fight for our 2A rights. So, Soliaker, deuces.